Alright, hello, welcome to this weather update, February 8th, 2019. And we did see some clear skies coming in late this afternoon from the north. You can see it here in Hicksville. I took some of these pictures here of the back edge of the cirrus. And that wind was blowing pretty hard. We had some pretty strong winds, actually knocked out this traffic light for a little bit. Anyway, let's get to this weather update. Weather, we have temperatures dropping across our area very rapidly. We're in the 30s right now, and the winds are very strong, too. We're going to talk about that because we started out, if I rewind the clock back to 2 o'clock, you'll see we were in the 50s. So temperatures are dropping very rapidly because we had a cold front move through. And actually, we can show you that front that moved through, actually. It moved through in the middle of the night last night. We had a really good band of showers. It's not really going to show up on here. I don't think this keeps the radar for that. Yeah, there it is. All right, good, it does. So there was like a line of showers that came through. Some really heavy rain that came through like in the middle of the night last night, around 2:30 in the morning. It didn't really put down a lot of rain, but it did. It was like a little squall line. You could see this is like ahead of the cold front. Crazy, right? We're in February and we got to deal with these weather features. But anyway, I do want to show you some of the winds out there that we're dealing with. So let's take a look and see how the winds have been very high, actually. So we have a west wind of 15 gusts into 32 at Farmingdale, and we had some gusts, I think, above that. Gusts to 35, so probably some gusts up to 40 miles an hour in certain spots. I don't think the Weather Service is putting any information on the wind speeds out. No wind warning. Well, there is a wind advisory upstate up in Connecticut, but I think we could have used one too, judging by some of these winds that we've been dealing with. As far as the sky goes, we had some clouds, and then it cleared up, and you can see we've got this bank of high clouds. It's kind of stuck to the south of us now. It's not really moving any further south. This may throw some clouds over southern Jersey, maybe even through tomorrow. I'm going to look at the models. I'm going to show you that. So let's get to the models, and you'll see I have this big high pressure system here that is building out from the plains, and of course the core of the cold air is going over them. Temperatures are only around 0 degrees right now in places like Minneapolis, North and South Dakota. But we're not going to get into that because you can see the jet stream is pretty much diving over them and not over us. So that high moves in, brings us fair, but you see the core of the high never really gets into our area. So we're always on the edge of that, and the core of that high never really, maybe it tries to get in overnight, but then it moves out rapidly. And then we got to talk about the next precipitation event. It's a ways away. Our next chance for snow would be Tuesday, February 12th. And the GFS has this thing tracking to the west. It starts off as snow, but quickly changed to heavy rain for Tuesday, and then that moves out, and then we have another high pressure system, but no real cold air behind us. I'll show you that. And then another rainstorm for the weekend, and then another high pressure system building now. Just a similar, constantly thing. The core of cold air is going over the Midwest, not going over us. We might have a clear weekend, hopefully, and then another high builds in, and then maybe that's something there, but that's so far in advance. But I want to show you where the core of the cold air is, so we're going to look at temperature anomaly and show you, because this really shows up where the warm and the cold air really is. So we'll back it up to today, and you can see very much above normal. Fronts coming through, but you see the core of the cold air stays over the upper Midwest, doesn't really move that far south. We're fairly close to average this weekend with temperatures in the mid-30s, and then things start warming up a little bit by Monday, and that warm air with the rain, that's going to change over to rain on Tuesday into Wednesday, above normal, and then we go still above normal, right through the week with another rainstorm there. So we're going to be above normal again. This area in the west keeps getting the cold. We're not getting it. It's like I said, it's a really bad pattern for people who want snow and cold weather, as well as people who want clear skies, because they just keep getting the cold air, and we're not getting it. It's not coming down in our neck of the woods. And again, it's just the same old pattern that's been persistent all winter long, and it's just been really frustrating. So let's take a look at our area and see where the temperatures are going to do over the weekend. All right, so we'll look at the temperatures. and we'll take a look and see what how things are going to go during the weekend. All right, so as we go into, we have that front moving through. So tomorrow highs are only going to be in the mid 30s. That's about average for this time of the year. It's not below normal by any means. But you can see here in Sunday, same thing, mid 30s. So that's all. I'm just gonna look at the weekend tomorrow. During the week, you'll see it'll try to warm up, but that's temperatures are borderline at the beginning of that rain, so that's why there might be some snow, but then it rises into the 40s by Wednesday. So yeah, so we'll look at that, and I want to look at just show you the Midwest, show you how cold it is out there. Well, before I do that, let me show you the sky. So we'll look at the sky. That's the main thing. It's going to be dry this weekend. No precipitation events. The main thing is the sky. So you see you have this band of cirrus over here. Getting that to move south is going to be hard. It's going to try to roll back in on us a little bit tomorrow morning. But I'm thinking Long Island should be on the very edge of it. So I think we should have clear skies over Long Island. But anywhere south of Long Island, there's going to be clouds, unfortunately. And the core of that clear air moves in overnight, and then it's out by Sunday, and then you get the cirrus increasing again by Sunday afternoon. There, the cirrus will roll in pretty quick, probably, unfortunately, because you're getting on the return side of that high pressure, which is moving again. The core is not going over our area. I can look at the NAM model as well to show you the same. It's going to have the same problem that we're going to have. So again, there's that cirrus. It's hung up over New Jersey, and you can see right there it's hung up over New Jersey, and I might try to make a run at even Long Island on this model. This model has tomorrow not being clear at all until like later in the afternoon, so that's extremely frustrating. It really is. The pattern that we've been in has just been absolutely awful for so long now. For clear skies and for snow, it's just it's not a winter pattern. We're not even experiencing winter at this point. We're in some kind of new season. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, let's go over to the because there are a couple other weather features going on in other parts of the country that I want to look at. All right, so let's see what's going on in the Dakotas. And you can see here, we're looking at the NAM model, and you can see in North Dakota they were 20 below zero almost this afternoon. And you can see in Minneapolis, in that area, they were struggling to get to zero. Chicago, too, is going to be cold. Highs only, maybe, they probably only got up until around 10 degrees. And then that cold air comes in even more. Actually, no, it starts lifting out. This is the problem. See, it doesn't come down and then it just lifts back up into Canada. This is the problem. And then as we go into Saturday, you can see it lifting back up. And so this is the problem we're in. These cold air masses come down, but they just don't make it down very far. They don't make it very far south, and they don't make it very far east. So that's the problem that we are dealing with. But I actually want to go further northwest because the Pacific Northwest is actually going to be in for some pretty stormy weather that we have to look at. It's actually been pretty cold there, too, as well. It looks like it's 13 right now in Seattle. Oh, wait, we got to move this back up. So over here, yeah, you can see right now they're going to have another snowstorm, and it's going to drop after the snowstorm. Temperatures are going to drop. Very cold, so 20s, teens, very cold weather in the west right now. So again, that cold air is in the west. It's not on our side, unfortunately. Now let's take a look at the radars, and I'll show you that there's supposed to be a big storm for the Northwest, the Pacific Northwest. There it is. It's going to be starting tonight. There it is. They're probably going to get a lot of snow out of this. And I would imagine Flagstaff will get a piece of this too as well. Looks like several storms and another one. So you can see the trough in the west there. They're getting all the good cold air and we're not. So let's see how much snow they're going to get. Total snowfall. Let's take a look and see what it is that they're going to get over there. Oh, yeah. So the NAM has them gutting up to, it looks like, over a foot in the mountains just around Seattle. That whole Seattle area is going to be seeing at least 10 inches or more from this system. So it's going to be some heavy snow out west. We have to talk about west because the weather's more interesting out there, right? Or, you know, it is more interesting, you know. And we can look at the clouds too if you want. Yeah, it looks like they might even have a clear day. Even Seattle, well, I don't know about that. Not Seattle. That place never has a clear day. Well, it looks like maybe Sunday there might be some clear sky. Let's change the regions and let's look at our favorite spot in the Southwest, Flagstaff. So, let's take a look at that. So, yep, they were clear today. Let's see. May not be clear tomorrow. There may be some clouds, but for Sunday, looks like a clear day. Flagstaff's right over here. And you can also look at that on the GFS too, if you want. Just make yourself jealous. All right, so yeah, they had a clear day today. Looks like some clouds for Saturday. Clears out Sunday. Clears out Monday, still clear. Tuesday, clear. And then it clouds up Wednesday. See, they're getting clear air, and they're also getting colder temperatures. I'm just gonna put in the Flagstaff temperature for you and show you the Flagstaff weather forecast to show you what they're experiencing there. So it's 30 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, then partly sunny. But then Sunday, mostly sunny, 42. Chance of snow showers on Monday, 38. 43 on Tuesday. And then mostly, so they have a number of mostly sunny days. And if you look at the past weather, it actually got down pretty cold last night there in Flagstaff. It gets cold there in Flagstaff. Let's see, it got down to -2. I mean, really cold. It's like I said, it's like a piney, just a piney like desert, but it's not the Pine Barrens. It's like the Pine Barrens, but it's not the Pine Barrens. But an interesting thing about ponderosa pine, actually, if we go ahead and let's just go to Flagstaff already, because let's just take a virtual trip to Flagstaff in this weather update. Yeah, they had a clear day yesterday and today. They had a clear day. Look at that! Wow, we didn't have that. Yeah, let's wrap up this weather update in a pretty place where the weather is nice. Yep, here we go. Here are the ponderosa pines in Flagstaff. Just showing you how beautiful it is here again. It looks a lot like the Pine Barrens, doesn't it? It really does look a lot like the Pine Barrens. It really, really does. Just look at these shapes here, man. Look at these shapes. Now, I actually incorrectly stated in my Deer Park video that the ponderosa pines are not that fire tolerant. I still don't think they're quite as fire tolerant as pitch pines, but they are considered actually very fire tolerant, and they can survive, low intensity fires. And the cones, like the pitch pines, will only open in the heat of a fire. But another interesting thing is ponderosa pines. There's another nickname for them. They're called western pitch pines. So these are literally the western versions of the Pine Barrens in the west. This is like the Pine Barrens, but you're out west, and it's beautiful here. I mean, it's incredibly beautiful. I'm just going to take you down this road here. Just look at these beautiful shapes. And there's some clouds in the sky, but look at the deep blue sky that they have there. It's just, you just don't get that here anymore, And it's just a place that, again, I can't rule out having to relocate to due to climate change if the weather stays like this. Can't imagine being away from pitch pines. They are my favorite trees, but if I have to be away from them, this is the closest I'm going to get here with these ponderosa pines. And they are pretty, see, they come in a lot of. They just don't. They come. The pitch pines are a little more interesting. I think these come in more of like a typical shape here, but they are very pretty. And the weather here is just more suits my type of need. My type of needs. Having these nice blue skies and even have a little fall foliage there, a little bit right in there. This was taken in October. This street view. Again, just a beautiful place. A beautiful, beautiful place. Just look at all these delicious shapes here, man. This is just really nice to look at. And they're gonna have nice weather, and I wish I was there right now. All right, because tomorrow might be clear, but tomorrow's the only day we're gonna have that's gonna be clear. After that, we're gonna be stuck in the clouds again for another 5 to 7 days. I could be here and not stuck in the clouds and be in the Pine Barrens almost every day, or at least like more. I could be in the Pine Barrens at least a couple times a week, Or, well, their version of Pine Barrens, but it does look a lot like the Pine Barrens. It's not quite the Pine Barrens, but it sure as hell looks a lot like it. And of course, you do have the added benefit of mountains. But what you don't have is the ocean. I like being by the ocean too, but it's that ocean that's causing all the clouds. That's the problem, and all the moisture that's in our area. Let's look at these shapes here. I'll just show you this, and then we're gonna wrap up this weather update. This weather update turned into another visit to Flagstaff again, but I had to show you. Just look at these delicious shapes here, man, and the you gotta have I'm sorry if people don't understand, but you gotta have a nice blue sky to really appreciate the beauty of pine trees. You have to, or any tree for that matter, but you really gotta have a nice blue sky. You know, if you don't have a nice blue sky, you really can't appreciate the beauty like this. Just look at this beautiful sky here. All right, it's a little cloudier over here on this side. Again, it took me off to the other side there, but there you go. Look at that. Again, this is taken, and they have lots and lots of days like this in Flagstaff. It's just, you know, it's just something to think about. Climate change is going to force people to relocate. If it's not, you know, because they have to, because of sea level rise, it's because of psychological effects due to all the cloudiness. They're going to have to relocate out west where it's going to be drier. You know, so that's going to wrap up this weather update as we continue our little trip down through the pines in Flagstaff. Just look at these delicious shapes here. Anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, remember what it's all about. It's always going to be about those great shapes. Take it easy.